Hello and welcome to Female Cricket Live. The eighth match of the 12th edition of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup was played today between India and New Zealand, which New Zealand went on to win by 62 runs. Mithali Raj, captaining the 150th ODI for India, won the toss and elected to bowl. Batting first, New Zealand posted a competitive score of 260 for 9 in 50 overs, riding on twin half centuries from Amy Satterthwaite and Amelia Kerr. For India, it was Pooja Vastrakar who was the pick of the bowlers as she picked up 4 for 34 in her 10 overs and received good support from Rajeshwari Gaikwad who chipped in with 2 wickets in her 10 overs. In reply, India could score 198 as they were bowled out in 46.4 overs, losing the match by 62 runs. India's vice-captain Harmanpreet Kaur top-scored with 71 runs of 63 balls and could not find an able ally to see their side home. For New Zealand, it was again Amelia Kerr with the ball, who picked up 3 wickets and was joined by Leah Tahuhu, who also chipped in with 3 wickets. Haley Jensen chipped in with 2 wickets, while Hannah Rowe and Jess Kerr accounted for 1 scalp each. For New Zealand, it was Amy Satterthwaite who won the player of the match for her match-winning contribution of 75 runs from 84 balls. So after this match, we can see that India have won one out of the 2 matches in their World Cup campaign, and New Zealand have won 2 out of their 3 matches. So to talk more about this, I have with me Dhanush Lavanya. So Dhanush Lavanya is a content writer at Female Cricket, and I welcome you to Female Cricket Live, Dhanush.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. It was an
All right.
exceptional match to start off between India and New Zealand, but it was a match which I was feeling at the beginning stages, especially for the first 40 overs when New Zealand were batting. I felt that like how we were discussing last night, yesterday, it was 300 was on the board for sure. I was seeing somewhere between 300 to 320. But the way Pooja Vastrakar bowled in the death overs was just outstanding. They were 224 for 5, and then they were reduced to 259 for 9 at the end of 50 overs in the span of like 7 overs. It was really good bowling from India in the death overs, and I was happy that they restricted them for 260, and I felt India had a legitimate chance to win this game. But unfortunately, we always use this word in cricket when it comes to batting, which is intent. The batting with what India presented out there against New Zealand didn't have intent, is what I will say, because they never looked in this game at all. Because if you see the New Zealand batting, they were scoring regularly at the run rate of 5 runs per over, but India were not doing that. They were barely 3 runs per over is what economy rate was. So I felt that that was the big reason why India never looked to win this game.
Absolutely. I think, as you mentioned rightly about intent, Dhanush, even I felt that the intent was somehow lacking, and we only saw it after Harmanpreet Kaur reached her half century when she had that 20-run over of Haley Jensen. So it was very late in the day, we can say, and of course, Jhulan Goswami also hitting those big shots. But yes, and as I think we were talking about Shefali Verma also, and I remember that we were discussing that maybe she could get 2, 3 matches at least in this World Cup campaign. Were you surprised to see she making way for Yastika Bhatia at the top of the order today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like how I said yesterday, and I was chatting with a few people as well, and we were discussing that Shefali maybe will be given one more or 2 matches more chances, because she is someone that they have groomed over the last couple of years, and they have the backing and all those stuff. But I was surprised when the toss happened and Yastika came in for Shefali. But when it comes to the batting of Yastika in this particular game, if I see, she took like 58 balls to score the 28 runs. And if you are any batsman who is going out to chase, especially you are an opening batter, if you take those deliveries up front and defend those, don't score runs, don't even rotate strikes, it is your responsibility that you have to make up to that dot balls that you have created. But unfortunately, she got out in a very cheap fashion, and at that moment she had to start accelerating, but she didn't do it, and she got out for 28. Maybe the lack of experience is what one thing I'll say. And definitely I was not so pleased with the performance of Yastika Bhatia. I am expecting more from her in the upcoming games.
Yeah, and I think New Zealand got it perfectly right when they introduced Frankie McKay to open the bowling for them. Seeing two left-handers, I'm sure Frankie McKay must be very delighted to see. And if you also see the field which New Zealand had in place for both Mandhana and Yastika Bhatia, knowing that they love to hit through the offside, it was fully packed. They had point, covers, extra covers, mid off all in place. And Mandhana, again, just like Bhatia, was unable to find those gaps. And I think Smriti Mandhana finally lost her cool. She was frustrated, I think, and then she threw her wicket away when she was trying to loft one. I think against
Yeah,
Pakistan
absolutely.
also,
I was
Pakistan
also
had a well
to
set.
add on to that. To add on to that, Julie, I want to make this point as well on Smriti because I was looking into I was going through all that I was sitting and seeing the whole India batting, and those 5 overs I was feeling that yes, Smriti is taking her time. She is getting set. Maybe after the power play is done, she when the field spreads out, she will start to score big runs. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case, and I was also pretty much taken aback because it looked immature because she just threw off her wicket like how you said, and at that moment there was no need of acceleration. They could have just nudged singles and doubles and rotated the strikes, but unfortunately that was another cheap dismissal is what I'll say.
Yeah.
What do you feel
And then
about India's batting altogether then?
So India's batting again, as we were discussing, that there was no intent. Again, the dot ball percentage was high, no strike rotation. And yes, I think in the first 7 overs which New Zealand bowled, there were two maiden overs already. So that definitely adds the pressure not only on the batter but also on the non-striker as well. And yes, I was happy to see Yastika Bhatia actually opening the batting. And even just like you, I expected a lot out of her because in the Australia series she was incredible. She was hitting the ball well, so I was expecting something from her. Okay, all right. So I think we are getting one from Ankit Singh. This is not good right from the start. Intent was not there. They looked afraid while playing the shot. Absolutely, Ankit. Even we agree with you on this that there was a lack of intent from the Indian batters today. What we saw, and I think when Mithali Raj came in, as you all know, she takes her time. Her strike rate has been an issue, but for her that has not been an issue because I think when the commentators they were talking about Mithali Raj, it seems that she has an average of more than 60 when India is chasing, and an average of close to 50 when India is batting first. So even after hearing that statistic, I was confident that maybe Mithali Raj could take India home, captaining in her 150th ODI today. But that was not to happen. And finally, I think Harmanpreet Kaur was a lone warrior, we can say. She fought hard for her 71 of 63 balls. But again, after going past her 50, she tried to score freely, which was actually expected of her maybe 10 overs back, and we could have seen a different game altogether. So, yes, I think overall a disappointing batting performance from India, but I hope that they step up their game going into the match against West Indies because this team has won both their matches, so it will be important for India to fire on all cylinders. Okay, so of course, talking about New Zealand's bowling, they were pretty exceptional. The call to get Frankie McKay in, open the bowling. How good was that, Danush, according to you?
Well, as you said, two left-handers out there opening the batting, and our off spinner will be asking for the ball at that moment. And we have seen off spinners in general utilize that opportunity and take a wicket and make sure that early dismissals are done. And if you have seen Leah Tahuhu's performance over the last couple of games as well, she got smashed for a few runs against West Indies. West Indies scored like 20 runs in her first 2 overs itself. So I was okay with the way Frankie McKay came in, and she started bowling from the very first over. She got a good 4 over spell, and then Leah Tahu who came in at the ninth over at the end of the power play, and then she had an outstanding match altogether, 3 for 17 in 10 overs. Any team that is going to chase 260, if you concede just if you give 3 wickets and just score 17 runs off her bowling, you are losing the match in majority of the cases, and that is what Leah Tahu did in this match as well.
Absolutely. Liya Tahu was phenomenal today with the ball. And as we are talking, we have got Minoti Desai on our conversation today. So, for all the viewers and fans, Minoti Desai is a former India cricketer who has played Test and ODI cricket for India. She has also been an author and has written the book, She, the Cricketer. So, Minoti ma'am, it is a pleasure to have you on our show today. Right. Oh. Yeah. Minoti ma'am, am I audible? Can you hear us? Dhanush, can you hear me?
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
There is a
Hello.
network issue with Minoti ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, yes, I have been my
Okay. Okay. All right. So for all the viewers, Minoti ma'am will be back. There is some network issue. So maybe we'll just take our conversation ahead. So yes, we are talking about Leah Tahu and Amelia Kerr again. Half century today and 3 wickets with the ball. How good was she today?
Yeah, I guess she loves to play against India. She scored 350 runs in the previous ODI series in January, February, and then the way she played today, 50 runs of 64 balls. She had a very good partnership with Sophie Devine with the bat as well. And the way she was sweeping the Indian spinners, I was just going on how many balls she is going to sweep, because almost every single boundary that she scored, it was a sweep shot, and it was on that fine leg region, and it was something that she was very testament of playing, and she knew the Indian bowling unit is what I feel. She had figured it out in the 5 match series, and she followed the same technique and tactics and made sure she got a 50 out there. She would be unhappy with her getting out. She again got out with the sweep shot itself. She got LBW for that, and she was in a situation where she could have gone and scored 100. But anyways, Amy Satterthwaite came in and she gave in a valuable performance out there, showed why she is the veteran. And with the ball as well, Amelia Kerr, she might have conceded runs. She got 3 for 56 in 9 overs, and those 3 wickets that she took of Mithali and all the other players, that was really important at the end of the day. And she loves to play against India, is what I will tell. And I was impressed with her performance. About As we move on, I want to talk about Amy Satterthwaite, because she scored 4,500 runs. She crossed that mark. She became the second New Zealand player to do it after Susie Betts. How impressed were you with the performance from Amy Satterthwaite, the veteran that she is, 75? How was it?
Yeah, simply superb. So left-handers are always a treat to the eyes, and Satterthwaite today showed that she was very elegant. She played some good-looking shots, both off the front foot as well as the back foot. She was, willing to take the risk, and not only I think she was playing her shots, she was also running well between the wickets, which was very nice to see because usually these batters who know that they have big shots in their repertoire, they do not focus more on running between the wickets. But I was happy to see Satterthwaite running well between the wickets with Amelia Kerr. All right. So, Minoti ma'am, are you there with us?
I'm very much sorry. Apologies. I had some
No
network
problem.
issues, so I really couldn't be there.
No
So
problem. It's
yeah,
a pleasure to
Julia.
have you on our show.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be associated with you people who are such great women cricket promoters and followers. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Great. So, Minoti ma'am, your first thoughts on the match today that was played between India and New Zealand?
Well, I should say that let's not make too much out of it. It was just a bad day for India, I guess. And of course, I felt the intent was not there in batters, especially to really citing the victory or even trying to come close to it. But I have always said it, and I always believe that on a particular day things might go wrong. But only thing is that since it's the World Cup, you can't have too many days like that when things are not working for you. And each person, I felt, needs to be responsible and focused. Let's not put it on batters or bowlers. Or I also felt that it was quite a decent score to restrict. 260 was really. I mean, I genuinely felt that they've restricted the team quite well. But because we've seen in the ODI series just before the World Cup that India were able to manage to get around 270 quite often. So it was not a big deal. But I really felt the individually each and every player, I would not put it on one person, but yeah, individually they were not really. I never saw and felt that anybody was ever looking at the scoreboard, you know when they were chasing, and when that happens, then obviously the run rate gradually goes up and the pressure comes on and things like that. I also felt that bringing in Yatsuka was a asking him. So I thought I'd rather participate in that. But I felt that I could see nerves. She was a little nervous and she was not her usual self. So she really brought down the average scoring. It was just around 50. And with Smriti going, it didn't do any favor to India as such, not having Shifali, because anyway, she has been getting out quite early, so there has not been much contribution from her lately. But I thought that Bhatia is capable of much more than what she did today. So let's not write her off, or anybody for that matter. But it has been two matches and we've already seen 5 wickets going under 100. Yeah, against Pakistan, and now, I mean, in fact, against Pakistan, we have 114 for 6. So it is very joyous to see all rounders really contributing now. And where in the previous series we saw against New Zealand that batters were really doing very well, and India were hardly able to get New Zealanders all out. But now it's the other way around. So I feel it's just a click that has to happen when I always believe that in a team, if 6 to 7 people perform, then there are all the chances of victory, and that combination has to come. And yeah, let's keep our hopes based on that. And yes, but it was disappointing to see India lose today. Yeah.
So, Minodi ma'am, as you spoke that you were happy to see Yastika Bhatia opening the batting for India. But do you think that going ahead in this World Cup, India going in with three left-handers at the top of the order could be a problem for India?
See, it's better to have 3, 4, or 5 left-handers or right-handers. I really think it doesn't matter as long as somebody is getting runs. Yeah, because if you see, there has not been a partnership when you see the openers, and that's really worrisome for me. So even if you have three, it doesn't matter, because right now we're not looking at least I'm not looking at a left-hander or a right-hander. I'm looking at somebody who could give India a solid start along with Smriti Mandhana, because it's not necessary that every match is going to score, you know. And if both are going to click off late, like we have not seen Smriti and Shefali really been able to put a big partnership. So it really doesn't matter. But yes, change in the order of those left-handers might help. It might help. But first thing is that they should be able to get runs, and get runs in a professional way with an intent. It's not about, okay, I've gotten my 50 or I've gotten my 100 or I've gotten my 30 and now next match I'm in. That intent is what I see lacking, that I want to play for my country, even if it is a quick fired 30 or a 40 or a smartly made or a professionally made 30, which really lifts the spirit of the batters to come. That really helps, because when you lost your wicket and you also slowed down the run rate, then you're putting extra pressure on the next batter. But unfortunately today, each and every player was not in the nick, not in the right frame of mind, especially batters. And I really felt that the turning point of the match was while India were bowling, when Emily Kerr was dropped at deep square leg. That was the turning point of the match for me, because then had we taken that wicket, it would have really been a different story altogether. And I quite didn't understand why she was removed, Rajeshwari, why she was removed after that, because obviously a catch being dropped puts extra pressure on the batter, and it's always playing on his or her mind if you're facing the same bowler in the next over or the next ball. So that was quite a surprise for me. Besides that, I really felt that it was smart captaincy by Mitali to being able to restrict and rotate her bowlers and to restrict New Zealanders to the score of 260. And yeah, I mean, that was that. But right now, the first concern should be that top 6 batters should be able to, if you watch each and every team that has been able to get runs, you will observe that at least 3 batters have contributed. You can't be expecting one person to score a 70 and win the match. No. not happen. It's not happening. So yeah,
So Dhanush, as
that is what.
Minoti ma'am, so Dhanush, as Minoti ma'am is talking about India's boost with the top order and of course the top middle order. New Zealand, on the other hand, seem to be doing pretty good with their batters, top four batters. According to you, what is the secret to New Zealand batters' success in these three matches that we have seen so far in the World Cup?
First of all, it's the home conditions that they have the advantage of. So they have grown in their cricket playing in those conditions. So they pretty much know how to play in any stadium that they are playing, and the experience that the top four has. Amelia Kerr is 5 years into international cricket. Even 5 years is big in when it comes to international cricket, right? So, and since she is 21, many think she might be not so matured, but she has been playing since 16, and she has a really good maturity when it comes to batting or bowling is concerned. She has many things to do in the years coming by. And the other three batsmen that there are in the top four of New Zealand, Susie Betts, Sophie Devine, and Amy Satterthwaite, all of them are very, very seasoned performers. They have played like 3 4 World Cups in their career. They have been consistently been a part of the side over the past decade, and with the amount of experience that they have developed and the amount of cricket that they have played, it is all about their experience and their adaptability and the changes that they do. That is why they are being able to be so successful, and they have got this top four in form at the right time. If any one of those were not at form, that wouldn't have mattered. But all the four batters in the top four of New Zealand are really, really good when it comes to batting, and they have been having a really good run over the last since 2021 is what I see. So it's just a great thing for New Zealand to take advantage of, and they are doing it in the right way.
Absolutely. It has been a treat to watch these white ferns, the top four batters of the New Zealand team doing so well for their country. Right, so Minoti ma'am, we have just a day's break, 11th of March, just a 1 day break, and then India plays West Indies on 12th of March. West Indies, they're riding high on confidence, 2 out of 2 wins in this World Cup campaign so far. India, 1 out of 2 matches they have won. So, what will be the approach of India going into the match against West Indies?
Whether you're
Can you
playing the world champion or the worst team in the world, it's how you perform on that particular day, you know, how each player is feeling on that particular day. And it doesn't matter if West Indies have, already brought 4 points on board and they are quite confident. And I personally feel that their spinners are doing quite well. And if you would have really noticed, all the bowlers who are doing well have stuck to stumps. I mean, it's common sense that if you're an off spinner and you're going to pitch the ball on middle and leg, then you're going to be hit. You have to have a line. You have to have a strategy, and you have to have field in place. You can't rely on captain to do all the things all the time for you. If you have a set field, where you have 5 fielders on the off or 6 fielders on the off, then you ought to, if you're an off spinner, you ought to bowl on the fifth stump or sixth stump to bring the ball in. And same way, I feel that India. I personally felt that the series recently has given each and every player quite a lot of time, quite a lot of confidence, and this one loss is just a bad day for them. Apart from the intent that I talk about. So it's really going to be on minds of players, and they are going to, there is overhauling of thoughts that each player has to carry within, besides the team meetings and what your coach or your captain has got to say. And when that thought comes that I'm gonna do well for my country, then obviously if you're picked up for Indian team, you ought to be talented. You just not any other cricketer who is there. And you've beaten all the teams in the world. It's not that India has not been able to do it. So they should take it as today's loss. I personally take it on a positive note, that they should take it as just a bad day and obviously change the intent. And the intent should be only to win. And when you focus on victory, it doesn't matter who you're playing against, whether it's Australia or West Indies. And I also feel the victory over West Indies in the practice match is going to play on Indians' mind, and so is it going to play on West Indians' mind. And but besides that, again, it's matter of how you are on that particular day, and Indian players just need to pull up their socks and just keep focus on wanting to win the match, and I'm sure they'll be able to do it. They are capable of much more than what they've done today, and yeah, so that is that.
Absolutely. So completely agree with you, Minoti ma'am, that it was just a bad day for the Indian team. And despite the loss, I am sure there would be some positives that the Indian team would take in the World Cup campaign ahead. All right. So as we are talking, we are getting some questions from our viewers. So if we can
Yeah.
take them one by one. Okay. Daniel Kunder is asking, my question is, should Mithali come up the order while chasing? Minoti ma'am, can you take this up?
I personally feel that she's playing at the right place. This is the place she's extremely good at, and there shouldn't be any question asked because she is the one around whom the entire innings has revolved, and she does take her time to settle down, but she is capable of changing gears, and she is obviously one of the most dependable players we have. So I feel she's playing at and her playing at number four is uh, quite fine. I don't see a problem there. The only thing is, like I've been mentioning it time and again, that when opening pair is not giving runs or not putting enough score on board before the next batter comes in, it makes life difficult for the middle order. So let's hope that the openers do better, and even if there's a loss of a wicket or something, then Dipti has been playing. I see her middling the ball very well, but my only worry about Dipti is that she tends to play across a bit too much, you know so she needs to watch that. And yes, Herman, of course, it is great to see her playing the way she did today, and in spite of the theory around that she could have played the same innings, she could have started the innings a bit earlier or whatever, I don't agree, because it is not one batter's job to finish the match. It has to come from both the ends, and let's hope that out of seven or eight genuine batsmen that we have, like I really see extremely good cricketer in uh, Sneha, and I find her extremely good batter apart from Pooja. So we have a deep batting, and even if five of them or even four of them click and are able to surpass 50, I'm sure we'll put up a good show. Besides the bowlers, yeah, I really feel that the bowling is doing quite well. You saw today the performance by Pooja and Rajeshwari, and like I said, the turning point of the match for me was when the catch was dropped off her bowling. She really, Rajeshwari, did bowl very well today. So yes.
Yes. All right. So yes, apart from Mithali Raj's batting position, it is important that the other Indian batters also contribute in a big way if India have to win in this World Cup. All right. So can we have the next question? Ankit Singh is asking, will Shefali be added in the next match? Dhanush, can you take this up?
I don't think so because there has been enough opportunities that has been given to Shafali. Certainly in the World Cup, not so much, but over the last couple of years, she has been opening consistently with Smriti Mandhana, and now in the warm up games, Yastika Bhatia scored a 50, and with all those things ahead. I certainly agree the words of Minoti ma'am, where Shifari comes out to bat, she tries to score runs from the very beginning, and even if she gets out scoring 15 of 7, she won't use that many deliveries or as such. But since the confidence is not so good when it comes to Shafari Verma, I don't think so she will be coming back. And also Yastika Bhatia will not feel good, or any batsman will feel good after getting dropped just by the performance of one single match. So like how Minoti ma'am said, it was a bad day for the team, and they have to just make sure that they are at their best in the upcoming match. Especially they are playing West Indies, who are like riding on a high, so they have to pull up their socks for sure.
So perhaps we may see the same opening pair of Smriti Mandhana and Yastika Bhatia taking up the field on 12th of March against West Indies. All right. Can we have the next question? Okay, Daniel Konder has a question. Should India go ahead with left hand, or left hand, right hand in the tournament? Minoti ma'am, I know you touched upon this a while back, but if you can again answer this question for us.
No, I really see a lot of potential in Bhatia. And I really feel that she looked very bogged down, and probably it was her first match in the World Cup, so she looked a little nervous, but that cannot be an excuse. I personally feel that if she plays to the fullest of her potential, she's going to do well in the next match. She should play freely, she should play a natural game. And even if she's able to give us a score of 30, that will be a good start and good beginning for India. Yeah, besides the ever dependable Smriti Mandana, of course.
All right, wonderful. So again, just to sum it up, India played New Zealand today in the eighth match of the ICC Women's World Cup, which New Zealand went on to win by 62 runs. India will play the next match on 12th of March, and it will be against West Indies, who have won both the matches in this World Cup tournament so far. All right, so it was amazing talking to you, Minoti ma'am and Dhanush, about the India New Zealand match. And yes, thank you to all the viewers and fans for watching this. We'll be back again today at 8 p.m. to preview the match between Pakistan and South Africa that will be played tomorrow, that is 11th of March. So do join us for our conversation and send all your questions using hashtag Female Cricket Live. Thank you.